I was minding my own business, playing y'all's favorite game, War of Dots, jumping forehead first, toes deep into free-for-all matches, as I do, when suddenly, this guy shows up. Girth McSlammer. I'm not kidding, that's actually his name. Not only does he have the best name in War of Dots, he also comes along with this title, Champion. And for those uneducated amongst you, this means he is a member of a very small group, the top 5 players in the world. But not only that, he is the highest ranked player in the world. So you may now think that, fine, time to surrender. We're not going to beat the best player in the world, but never surrender. Yes, this is the third time I'm milking this bit, but I love it, okay? It's a good bit, and it fits in every video, so screw you. I'm going to keep using it. Anyways, now we're about to watch a match of the century. Who is going to win? The #1 ranked player in the world, or the self-proclaimed king of free-for-alls? Or, you know, it could be one of these two guys. They're also in the game. Don't be rude. Let's watch. Alright, we're starting the game with me as purple at the bottom. We also have Girth playing as red to my left. And we have also Drugi, orange on my right, and we have Casts as blue at the top above me. Now, starting off the game, we can already see orange is moving an enormous amount of his units to the coastline. He wants to try to make some form of move on the water against either blue or red, probably blue. The rest, I can't be doing that, however, as I have no coastline in the game. In this game, I'm the only one who doesn't have a coastline. But I also don't have to worry about boats attacking me at the same time. Now, most of us are just moving our units back to our cities to grow our economy and to build more troops. Blue, on the other hand, has left a lot of his cities open. He also has one city where he has 2 units at the same time who are neither actually on top of it, gaining him money. So that's already a sign that blue isn't as experienced in this game. Orange and blue has a tiny little skirmish on the coast there between 2 tanks, but I think it was a misclick since orange immediately pulls that attack back. Red is also consolidating his line in the mountain passes, and blue finally realizes he's got some cities empty, so he moves a unit there. But at the same time, red begins his attack. It was clear by that line that he wanted to see if he could just snipe a city there. However, blue has now covered the city, but red doesn't know that, so he's trying to push opening. He couldn't get past the line, so he's using 2 of his units now to push the blue unit out of the way so he can sneak past. And he successfully does it, but he now sees that the cities are not empty and he gets cut off, so he tries to make it back to his line. But blue runs off of the city to try to stop the runaway red unit. And red notices this, so he just immediately rushes now for the city again, even though he's encircled. And he successfully takes it. Blue also abandons another city to try to take that city back now. At the same time, orange has completed his embarkment and begins moving his armada onto the blue coastline. Now, even though red got the sniper city, he's not going to be able to keep it. That unit was injured for too long, and blue successfully recovers the city from red. But red's not done. He tries to go for the other city he now knows is empty because blue moved the unit to protect it. Blue even moves the unit out of the way, letting the red unit slip through. So red gets to snipe yet another city on blue. At the same time, the orange unit lands on the coast and finds the city empty. He takes that city from blue, and he also begins attacking along the whole coast, along the whole front. Additionally, blue now panically runs his unit off of another city to try to protect his capital before it too falls, but it's already too late. He has lost 2 cities, meaning his units are rapidly dying all along the line. At the same time, orange now just keep pushing up. Blue barely stops orange from taking the capital city. At the same time, red is going for another city, and blue barely stops him for a second, but red takes it. And the unit protecting the capital dies from lack of supply. Meaning blue has now lost 4 cities, in fact, and his entire army on the orange line is now gone. Red keeps slipping through and to protect his new cities, but orange is already contesting those center cities. Additionally, as blue retreats to protect his city, he has been cut off. Over half of his army has now been encircled. Blue is all but dead at this point. Blue has been annihilated with very little resistance. Now, this is unfortunate for me, as I can't really benefit from his demise. You rarely want to attack the opposite player in a 4-way free-for-all, as you're just blocking the other players from fighting each other. What you normally want to do is that you want to balance your opponents. You want to help blue by attacking whoever is attacking him. Yet in this game, I decided against doing that as well because of how quickly red was able to just snipe a city that was completely unguarded, then followed by another. So I concluded that blue was too newbie, that even if I went full force on both orange and red, then he would still just collapse and die. And watching this replay now, I do feel like that was the right decision. But what do we do now? My two remaining opponents have strengthened their economy and they barely lost any soldiers in the process. So it may seem like I'm really screwed. And I'm definitely on the back foot here, that's for sure, but it's far from over because there's a hidden advantage here. Both red and orange have gained from this attack, meaning they are both now the strongest player in the game. They're rivaling each other. So even though they would love to kill me now and make it a clean 1v1, neither of them is going to want to attack me first if it risks turning this into a difficult 2v1 fight. So we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take advantage of this mentality we've discovered and we're going to balance the opponents against each other. Step 1. Armed neutrality. We do not want to attack them. We don't even want to adjust our units around on the border to avoid threatening them. We want to make them feel safe to fight each other. But if they move on us or start attacking us, we have to respond with as much force as we can to deter them. We have to be Switzerland, literally. We must show them that you can kill me, but it will hurt you, and you got much bigger fish to worry about. But if you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Right? Sounds good. It's literally Switzerland. We're laughing right now. Step 2, observation. We need to monitor the situation and watching carefully for who is going to come out on top between their fight. Because we have to decide who is going to be the loser and who is going to be the winner. Because when we attack, we're going to be attacking the winner. Step 3, timing. When we attack is the most important. Too early and they haven't suffered enough casualty, the loser can turn into the winner quickly and take more land than I can. Yet if I attack too late, the loser may not even be able to recover from my attack, or worse, he might have already rage quit by the time I'm attacking, leaving the winner just conquer all of the loser's land before I make a difference. Yet, if this plan works and I time it correctly, they will grind each other down just enough for me to defeat the winner before the loser recovers or before the loser loses. Trust me, it makes sense, okay? Just I'm the king of free throw. I'm a genius, okay? Just watch. Blue is all but defeated. He has one city left, his army is completely encircled, and red and orange have begun skirmishing a little in the center as orange is trying to contest the red cities. Now this is the moment where we're just spectating, we're just watching. We want to deter them from ever attacking me, but I want to see who comes out on top between the two of them. Orange is moving up, he's trying to encircle the red cities in the middle. Now remember, I can't take advantage of the downfall of blue, but we see now that orange begins moving up on my line. Now this is what we don't want. We don't want orange to start thinking he can start making moves on me, so I start moving up quickly. I'm deploying my divisions before I'm ready with them, because I wanted to build up more of an economy first. But we have no choice, because we gotta deter orange. We got to make sure orange realizes, I'm not gonna fall as easy as blue. You're not gonna make a break for her, you're not gonna slip past my lines. Just you concern yourself with red, just fight red. And he's fighting red in the center, while red is trying to mop up what remains of blue. Now it seems like the deterrent worked, he's not making any moves, he just moved up to C. Now who is going to win between red and orange? That's going to be the big question for me, and when will I strike? I move one of my units away to try to show to orange, okay, you haven't made a move after you moved up, so maybe you're willing to move away. But he isn't at the moment, because right now I think orange is filled with confidence. He's taken 2 cities, he's encircled 2 of red's units now in the center, but red encircles 2 of his units in return. Now remember, I'm watching carefully everything that's happening right now. I do see these border gore of encirclements that's happening. And I'm spectating to see who is going to win. I obviously can't see their units, but I can see the way the border is developing. Red has 2 cities, orange has 2 cities, blue has 1 city left, but red is about to take that final city. So I need to watch to see when will I pick my moment, when will I join the fight and against who. We now see that red takes the final city of blue. Blue has now perished, orange also gets massively encircled in the center, And orange has to start committing his reserves to try to cover up. At the same time, he moves a couple of his units away from me to try to cover up his losses in the center. This gives me a lot of clues. I'm starting to realize, okay, maybe it is red that's winning. I haven't decided yet, but we can see the encirclements happens. Me and orange starts pulling off a little bit as orange redeploys towards the center. I take this as a good opportunity. I don't want to completely demilitarize yet, right? Because again, I need a deterrence that matches his strengths to show that you're not going to be able to take an advantage here. At the same time, orange gets massively encircled in the center again. Red is up 3 cities and has killed a lot of orange's units. But we demilitarized against orange a little bit, giving him the opportunity to move units up to the red front. Because again, we want to show him that you can't take me easily, but I am down to make a truce if that's what's necessary. At the same time, orange gets massively encircled in the center. 3 separate pockets. He gets to open one of them a little bit, but only a little bit, and this is what makes me realize I need to target red. I move all of my reserve units onto the red front, and I am ready to pull off of orange at a moment's notice if he gives me an opening there. Because I'm seeing red is up 3 cities. He isn't able to fight back the attack on the coast. There's so many tanks on the coast there. And he keeps getting encircled in the center. He lost so many units in that encirclement. And he's about to get another infantry unit encircled. And his 2 tanks in that middle bit is dangerously close as they get cut off there. I decide that the moment has come. I launch my offensive against red on the bottom front. Too many encirclements have happened. In fact, orange gets encircled again at the bottom, though only for a little bit. Red takes the northern city and he's now up 4 cities. His economy is far too great. Orange's army has almost been taking severe damage due to his constant encirclements, and he only has 1 city that extra. His economy isn't strong enough to match red anymore, and he has lost so many units he can't really hold. So we've decided now is the time. I also move up in the mountain ranges, but I see that the units are still there. He hasn't pulled away there yet. But we start attacking. We send more reserves over to the red front. And the reason I'm attacking only down there is because I don't want to attack in the center. I don't want to potentially fight units that could be fighting orange. Because even though I'm now moving in to help, I want red and orange to fight each other still. And we can see it's already working. Red is moving units down that he had in reserve against orange that was healing from his fight with orange. He's already starting to move them down to stop my attack. I encircle one of red's units for a little bit, killing it off, but red is still steamrolling orange. This is why I attacked now. Because the amount of encirclements I was seeing and the cities falling, I realized if I wait for too much longer, orange will be so dead that red just gets to steamroll him and take everything he has, even if I do attack. But as we can see, it's working. Red is winning so hard that orange is forced to move more units off of my front. And this is exactly what we want. We want orange and red to fight each other desperately. I soon match this energy and move some of my units away from the orange front as well. We encircled another red unit that we just killed. But orange is still losing to red. He loses another city. Red now has double our economy. He has both of our economy combined. And he encircles a couple more orange units in the center. This is more than winnable for red at this point. Even though he's fighting a 2v1 now essentially. Me and orange still have some units against each other, but we're not fighting. But he has the economy to defeat us. Had I waited any longer, orange might have been completely collapsed quite rapidly. Now I move one of my units up to encircle that red unit again, because I don't want orange to lose as hard as he is right now. I want orange and red to keep fighting, and I want orange to be on the losing hand, but I don't want him to get eliminated, so that red becomes stronger and I have to fight alone. So I move a unit up just to help kill that one unit, but not to actually fight. I don't want to lose men in the center where they could be fighting each other. We encircle another red unit at the bottom, while we continue to grind down the defenses on that city. At the same time, orange is trying to make movements around the red front line in the center, but due to the city area of control, it's not really going to work. We've killed another red unit at the bottom, and I start putting pressure on the next city that red has. Now we don't have the strength to take it yet, but I just want to put pressure on him there. Now red sees the opportunity to encircle orange's army in the center, so he moves units out of that mountain pass. And he also moves another unit out of the mountain pass to reinforce against my attack at the bottom. Now orange takes out one of red's units, but he does get encircled. The entirety of the orange army gets encircled in the center. This is devastating. So much of the orange army is dying in rapid pace inside of that pocket. He gets to open it just a little bit, but he gets encircled again. This is so destructive. Orange barely has an army left against red, and he's still encircled, losing his few units he has in there rapidly. But we're continuing our grind at the bottom. We want to seize red cities and kill him kill as much of red as we can before orange dies entirely. At the same time, you can see red is sending even more units down to my front. He's been doing this steadily, pulling units away from the red front to deal with me. But orange gets an encirclement of red at the same time. And as you can see, while red tries to open up, I, in the mountain range, start pushing for a city because I see the mountain range is open and I snipe one of red's cities while red is busy trying to deal with his encirclement that has happened. One of his units gets encircled and he fails to be able to free his units in the center that orange took. This balances the orange front a little bit. Orange's army is still very injured and weak, but red, as you can see, red is sending all of his reserves and reinforcements down to deal with me. He doesn't have the time to send units to deal with orange. At the same time, we finished encirclement of that one unit and we're continuing to grind. We have cut off the line between red's bottom city and the rest of his army. At the same time, orange pulls off the last few units he has on my border. Now, I don't reciprocate this. I want to keep a couple of my units on that front so that I can deter a surprise attack later. At the same time, we finally take the city at the bottom. We have grinded through those units. They're all dead now. But the grind isn't over. Red sends more reinforcements down now to block any attack upon his capital. He's also no longer pressuring orange, as you can see. He's just holding a line now because he's realizing he's taking too much heat from me. So he's trying. They've reached a natural pause. Both him and orange aren't fighting each other anymore, and they're trying to heal their reserve lines a little bit. This is exactly why I'm keeping my units down on the orange front, because I don't want orange to get any ideas right now. While he's getting a little break, I don't want him to think that maybe he could try and attack me to get a surprise offensive on me. That's why I keep units there to deter him, so that he doesn't think that I'm leaving my front lines open. Now orange instead decides to poke at red a little bit. At the same time, I'm doing a little scouting. I'm trying to see if there's some empty cities that I can snipe from red. However, there isn't, as you can see. He's in fact quite the opposite. He's got quite a large reserve that he's currently building up and healing. I quickly realized this and start retreating my unit back, but at the same time, we cut off that other bottom city on the coastline, so he can't send reinforcements there anymore, while we start pushing for the capital now. At the same time, orange is just doing some minor probing against red on the right side. Again, I don't want to move my units at all now on orange front, because I don't want orange to even look at me. Because right now, I've taken 2 of red's cities, while red has taken 5 from blue. This means red is only up 1 city compared to me. He's up 3 cities compared to orange, but orange might not even be noticing this right now. Because for all he sees is that red still owns all of blue. He might not realize how much I have conquered of red already, and that I'm about to take another city in the bottom. As you can see, orange is still fighting, but red does not respond to orange's attack. Instead, he sends all of his reserves down on my front, because he's realizing red knows that I am now the greatest threat to him. Orange's army is still quite weak, and the attacks he's launching on red is very minor. There's only a tiny little bit of poking. In fact, he encircles one of his own tanks. We finally take the city on the coastline. This is huge, because now we are up 3 cities, red is only up 2 as a result of this. I actually have the strongest economy right now. But again, you guys know this because I'm telling you, but it's hard for orange to know this at this time. He encircles 2 red units, but he might not even realize that I actually have the strongest economy right now and the strongest army, because he's too busy fighting red. He's got the tunnel vision like we've talked about in previous videos. At the same time, I begin the attack for the capital, but I'm not focusing on the capital too hard. In fact, I'm focusing on the mountain pass to the left, because I want to cut off that mountain pass. Because red doesn't have many approaches to his capital anymore. The only way is that mountain pass on the left, along the coast. If I successfully cut that off, he can no longer force the city. As you see, he sends a unit down towards his capital, but he can't get through those mountains. So all I want now is to cut off that capital so he can't cycle out his units, can't reinforce them, can't let them go back and heal, so that we can just grind down the units around the capital and take it. At the same time, orange tries to envelop that 1 city on the coastline. Again, Orange's army is so small at this point and so weak that there's not much he can do. And since I still have units on the front with him, he doesn't want to try and attack me, and he doesn't probably even realize that I am actually the strongest now, with the largest army and the largest economy. Instead, he wants to try to just slowly but surely secure himself another city. He circles that red city, thinking he can take advantage there. We now take the capital of Red. Red is now up only one city. He's essentially swapped places with Blue. While I, on the other hand, now own 4 cities. I am now by far the strongest economy in the game. And we have the largest army, which starts giving me false confidence. I start moving up my unit towards one of Orange's cities. Now this is just meant to scout. It's meant to see if the city's empty and easy to capture. Once I see it's not empty, I immediately pull back. Orange has left his front with me, so this is why I did this. As I've said, it's easy to get tempted once someone leaves, but because I moved like that, already he starts moving units onto my front. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is what I didn't want to do earlier, was if I move my units around, he will remember that I exist and be able to look upon the situation to see if he should do something about it. And he does. He starts sending a lot of units down to start fighting me again. Now I immediately respond. I send a bunch of units in to aggressively attack him. I even let one of my units get encircled because that's how confident I am. Because at this point, I'm not worried about Orange. I have the largest army and the largest economy. I have fought worse 2v1s before, so I'm like, screw it. If Orange now remembers I'm in the game and wants to start fighting me again, I'm down. Let's go. And now we finally get to see the stats that I've been having off this whole game by accident. Now you get to see why I'm so confident. I outnumber them both combined, essentially. So I am down for a 2v1 now. I am ready for it. I've had 2v1s like this before. As you can see, Red is concentrating heavily in the mountain passes to try to take the mountain pass city back. I have consolidated my line against Red. I'm simply trying to hold him in the mountain passes. I know I don't need a lot of men there to hold back his attack. At the same time, I am now sending a lot of units towards purple. Correction, I'm purple. I'm sending a lot of units towards Orange. And Orange has started diverting some of his units away from Red, but he hasn't diverted a lot yet. He's still not fully ready to go full in on me, but I am. I'm attacking his cities. I am ready. I'm like, screw it, let's do a 2v1. Let's fight both. At the same time, Orange now realizes he's not going to be able to siege that city on the coast, so he starts attacking it finally, wanting to try to finish it off from Red to try and take it, but I take one of Orange's cities now. We're now up 5 cities. I now outnumber their economy 2-1. But, as you might have noticed, I am making a fatal mistake. You may now think that I am on the path to victory, but the most astute of you may already have noticed that I have quite a lot of money right now, but all of my cities are full of fully healed units. This is because I have absolutely no clue how much money I have at the moment. Every time I look up here, I'm looking at Orange's money. Even though I'm purpled out of my mind right now. So let me quickly explain to those who don't understand. The way the economy works in this game is that you buy units using your money. 400 for a tank, 200 for infantry. But if you have units already on your cities, you can't buy fresh units with your money. So you may now think, duh, just move your units over your cities then, idiot. But you see, viewer, when units are on your cities, they heal quicker and they cost no maintenance money. Meaning, if you think you have below 200 gold, then it is objectively a good idea to keep units on your cities so that they don't cost any maintenance. And in here lies the problem. Every time I glance up here at the money, I think I have less than 200 gold, because Orange always has less than 200 gold. He's just good at recruiting. So I never move my units off of my cities unless I have to defend something. This means every time a unit is lost, he's gone for good, and my army will slowly deplete. Funnily enough, Girth is actually in a similar predicament. He is looking at the right money, but he has lost his capital. This is another hidden mechanic in this game. If you lose your starting capital, even if you take someone else's capital afterwards, you're no longer making any money, no matter how many cities you own. Meaning Girth is also on a timer right now. He still has some money in the bank to buy a bunch more units with, but once that dries up, unless he reclaims his capital, he too will slowly start running out of men. It's interesting because he had no clue about this mechanic, that it even existed. He learned about this mechanic in this very match that we're playing right now. I guess when you're the best player in the world, you don't often lose your capital while you're still in a fighting position. So both me and Girth will slowly run out of men. The question now is, who will realize their mistake first? The fate of the game may very well rely on it. I continue my push northwards as I try to attack the next city, the Orange capital. We also encircled a couple of Orange's units, and Orange has sent another infantryman from the Red front. He's begun realizing that Purple is actually the greatest threat here. Now, he isn't leaving the Red front, because they've fought each other quite hard, and there is a city he's trying to take now, which is not too hard for him to take if he tries, but he's letting his units die, trying to grind for it. At the same time, Red is grinding for my city in the mountain passes, but I'm not letting him have it for free, and I am cycling out my units, making sure that they don't all die. I've now begun the push for the next Orange city. We're also approaching Orange's capital. But Red is continuing to cycle out his units in the mountain as well. He's not letting them die either. We let ourselves get encircled, mainly by accident, but I'm not too concerned about it because his unit on the capital is quite weak, so I'm fine fighting it, hoping that I can snipe the capital. He, however, does send a unit back to stop it, so we're going to fail in that sacrifice we sent that guy. We just let him be encircled and die for no reason now. We do kill the unit on the capital, but he sent the reinforcement in time to block us, so it doesn't benefit us much. At the same time, we move in to try to encircle one of his men instead. It only works for a little bit, while me and Red continues grinding in the mountain passes. Red also now embarks his units onto the coast because he wants to try to conquer. At the same time, I take Orange's capital. I'm starting to say the color's wrong. But yes, Red deploys his forces onto the ocean to try to attack my cities from the coast. I'm busy on the right. I'm concentrating too hard on the right there, trying to take Orange's cities. At the same time, Orange finally gets that coastal city from Red that he's been grinding and fighting for so long. As you can see now, a long time ago, Red stopped fighting Orange. He sent all of his men away from Orange a very long time ago. That's pros and cons there. He did that obviously because he knows I'm the threat and I'm the one who needs to fight. But as you can see, Orange hasn't left everything from his front yet. And that's the thing about completely abandoning your front. It makes it seem like an easy conquest. So Orange is more than willing to continue having his units there to see if he can get an opportunity. At the same time, I finally spot the Red naval invasion, and we move units in to make sure he can't take a city. I also moved the unit up to the coast originally to see if I can stop him, thinking he was going for his capital, but then it looked like he wasn't, so I moved it down again, and don't realize that he actually does land for his capital, and he makes a breakthrough in the pass, cutting off my units from reinforcing the capital. However, I have a tank on the capital, so I'm not too concerned yet. But this is the opportunity that Red has to turn things around. Will he take his capital back in time before he starts running out of money? He still has the money to recruit more units, so his fault hasn't caught up to him yet, but if he doesn't take back his capital soon, he will run out. At the same time, we take Orange's city at the bottom. But I have made another fatal mistake. On Orange's old capital, my tank is holding it, but it's got a movement order to move left. And once that tank dies, like now, he moves off of the capital city, letting him take it, making that whole army encircled. Now, I'm confident. Orange has such a small army that I'm just yeeting my units forward now. I've stopped caring. I'm just going to snipe cities. But as you can see, I've only had 220,000 men left. I've almost lost over 100,000 men already because I'm not recruiting. And at the same time, Orange's cities are not empty. So my yeeting strategy that I'm doing now just to take cities is not working. And my army starts to rapidly die. In fact, my yeeting strategy also scared him so much that he sent everything off of Red to now try to block my units. At the same time, the front line between me and Red has opened up more now that I push deeper into Orange, so Red starts diverting a lot of strength towards the center line here as I take the Orange city on the coast. I now have 180,000 men. We lost so many to the encirclements there, and Red starts pushing for the city. My earlier confidence is catching up to me. Red is pushing in and he takes a city. I only have 177,000 men left. We're dropping rapidly. Our money is so large and we are now losing cities. I start moving units off of cities, but not because I've realized my mistake yet, but because I have no choice. I need to start blocking his attack before he overruns my positions. My units up in the orange territory is getting encircled, but my attack to the orange has stunted him enough that he's now just consolidating. His army is still quite small, but at the same time we encircle some of Red's forces that was attacking the next city. We successfully stop him from taking that city from us. It got really close, but we're holding. But things are going down. We're still fighting for Red's capital. Red's attack is being repelled. He's no longer fighting for the capital city itself, but he's still attacking on the flank to see if he can retake his capital, but he's running out of money. Red's mistake is almost about to start taking effect. At the same time, my units are pushing to take back the cities I lost from Red in the center, and we're still trying to hold those mountain passes, and Red pulls away from the flank on the capital. And I quickly move into the pass to block him so that he cannot threaten his original capital again. And Red has now run out of money. He's below 200. He can no longer recruit units. Every unit now that dies will no longer be replenished. His mistake is now finally bearing fruit. At the same time, Orange has reclaimed his territory. But ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come. I have awoken. I have realized my mistake and my units are finally running off of these cities. We have changed our economy to total mobilization. Mass recruitment is underway. Even the fresh recruits who've just spawned on the city do not get to stay there for long before I yeet them off of there so that we can make space for new recruits. We are recruiting rapid deployment, but is it too late? Orange has essentially got the same army as me, and Red is not far behind. Will I have the time to recruit the men needed to be able to continue this 2v1 fight? As Orange starts deploying his men back up onto the front line here. Now I move my units forwards, but not to start fighting Orange. I'm hoping to just buy myself time by giving him land. I only move units up right on the city. I leave the right flank empty. We take Red city back, but Red takes one of the cities in the mountain. We trade a city for a city, but that's fine. I push up. I want to hold him. We're still recruiting at a rapid pace. On the orange front, all I want to happen here is just to deter him now. We're leaving the right side empty except for my city on the right, and in the center with orange, I am just defending the city itself, leaving quite open. Because again, I'm fine with him pushing forward. I don't want him to start grinding my units. I'm fine with giving him some space so that he feels comfortable to try to make different type of maneuvers. As we see, he's moving up further now just to see. He's also moving up on Red's front because Red front is empty still. He might feel like he can take an opportunity to take some land from Red. Now we continue pushing in the mountain passes. Like, I'm comfortable fighting Red in the mountain passes because that leaves the front narrow. We've already gotten 218,000. Now Orange moves forward to try to encircle that one unit I left kind of exposed. We keep him open. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm fine with him doing movements like this. So I'm more than happy giving him space to try to make such maneuvers. Red at the same time also tries to make encirclements happen in the center. I encircle one of his units in return, however. Remember, Red can no longer replenish unit. Any units that passes out is gone forever. He can heal them, he can retreat them to heal, but he cannot recover them once they are dead. Now he gets the encirclement that he was building up for. But I can recover mine. Mass recruitment is gone. I am no longer making any mistakes in this run. And Red begins pushing for that city again. So I start moving up these units. They're not fully healed yet, but we have to start moving up units to try and challenge Red, because I'm fine with fighting in the mountain passes, but on my city, I don't want to. I'm too late, however. He takes the city, but we're fine with that. We're moving up more than enough units to try to challenge that city and take it back again, because I am fine with grinding Red. He won't be able to get his units back if they grind down. And if you've been paying attention on the right, you can see that we're just maneuvering around. Me and Orange have just been moving back and forth. He keeps trying to encircle singular units, and I keep pushing up just enough to block him from my cities, but not enough to start grinding him down. Because again, all I want is just to buy time. We have 260,000 men now. We have been able to grow quite rapidly, but we're not done. We still have a lot of money left. I'm still growing my economy. Time is running out for Red and Orange, and I keep grinding down Red's city that he has taken from me. We want that city back. Orange keeps pushing in the middle where my city isn't. He wants to make encirclements and take land, and again, we're fine with this. We just retreat back to our city, because I'm more than willing to trade land for time. I move 2 units up to block him from moving to the left, and he immediately retreats back from that pocket. fearful of being encircled. We've almost completely enveloped that city in the center with red. Now, it won't be in a encirclement even if I finish it, because he has a city there. Until I take that city, it doesn't matter, but it's fine. We just don't want him to be able to cycle out. We don't want him to be able to retreat. He tries to snipe his capital, but I spotted and moved my tank back. And the red units begin to die in that pocket. Again, they're not encircled, but simply grinding them down is good enough for me, because he cannot replenish them. He cannot get men back once they've died. So I want to stop him from being able to cycle units out. Now, as you can see here, orange is still moving up on red as well as he tries to move up into my openings. Orange is still trying to recover. He's reeling from when I attacked him earlier. And since red has left his front line entirely open with orange, orange is feeling confident. Orange feels like he can make movements against red, which is even now as red completely abandons his cities against orange. And this is what I mean. This is why orange has moved units up there, because you can just take them, right? Why wouldn't you? Now, he doesn't see that right now because he's busy with me right now in the center, trying to make movements still. But now we've gotten so many men that I am willing now to start fighting him. I'm not giving him space anymore. I'm willing to push against him to try and grind his units down as well. We take the city in the center. Red's army is almost entirely gone now. He lost way too many men in that pocket that he can never get back again. He no longer has the strength to take his capital, and we push up to threaten the next couple of cities. At the same time, orange attacks red's city in the north as well to take that city from him. It's an easy grab. There was just a weak infantry unit holding it, and he now has an extra city. At the same time, we're making maneuvers against orange. We're not doing too well over here though, as you can see. But it's fine. We have more than enough men to handle this. And I start moving all of these reserves that we've been building up. A large army is now being deployed onto that front line. We take another city from red, encircling essentially his whole army. Red barely has any units left. At the same time, our reinforcements finally reach the orange front and we begin grinding. We now move in for the encirclements. We get 3 units in a pocket. He tries to open it back up, but all it leads to is me pushing to make even further encirclements. We push now our line up. I don't have too much time to look at that line though, but we start pushing up towards that 1 unit it has there as I keep encircling. I've encircled a couple more orange units now. We move into encircle 2 more. Orange is losing so many units, but we're realizing now that red is essentially dead. So we start sporadically sending our units out. We take 1 city. We take another. Red is now down to 2 cities and the rest of his units are encircled. There's nothing red can do. Red has left the game essentially. And we move all of our remaining reserves in the back up. We have 430,000 men. The mass recruitment has worked. We're fighting for the last 2 red cities now. We begin pushing for Orange's remaining territory as well in the north that he has taken from blue. And while we're waiting for our last few reserves to move up to the front line, Orange tries desperately to defend his northern territory. We take another red city. Orange tries to consolidate his line. He moves backwards to consolidate. But at this point, it is just too late. Our economy is far too large. We encircle an orange tank. We start pushing up on the orange front here. Again, he pulls back to consolidate, but we launch a mass assault. No pause. We take the final red city. Orange panically retreats back to his cities. He's fighting to the very last man. He's not willing to give up, and we respect that. We again take the orange capital, and the last couple of cities begins to fall as we remain victorious. Woohoo! I'm a king of free-for-alls! We defeated the best player in the world! Speaking of the best player in the world, he actually has a YouTube channel. Link will be in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please check out another dotting masterpiece on your screen right now. And please consider subscribing. We went from 500 to 3,000 between the last video and now. That's insane. I'm so happy you guys are enjoying the videos. So anyway, see ya.